Em bên thế nào? Thế nào? Anh đi nào? Okay, because the next round will start soon, so we'll give comments quickly. So first of all, thank you for your performance this time. I guess you all have made much progress compared with your performance in the sectionals. So we will give some brief comments. As for the evidence, maybe we need to pay attention to the source and the time and who did the study. For example, from the affirmative side, you gave a study about 60% of students, but we didn't hear when the study was done or which organization did it. And also, for the affirmative side, also mentioned that 9 students got hurt by doing the cleaning job, but we didn't hear the time, so we didn't know whether that case happened like in recent years or in earlier years. And also about, I guess this time the most powerful evidence would be the evidence from A2 because they mentioned 187 students participated in the study, but the negative side, 187 students participated in the study given from the affirmative side. Yeah, but from what we heard, the affirmative side mentioned that the study was from Instagram, but maybe the negative side could have attacked like, is Instagram a reliable source of study, or when was the study released on Instagram? Because we need an impartial and legitimate third party to conduct the study so that we could have a more reliable reasoning for the argument. Yeah. And as for your reasoning part, from the negative side, we heard that there was one argument about from a study, students can clean toilet could help students learn to overcome obstacles. But then you moved on to the next argument. You used another study from the U.S. to show us that by overcoming obstacles, students can learn better. But the reasoning problem could be the reasoning. Your arguments are from 2 different studies. Yeah, so like it was difficult for us to connect the relation between cleaning the toilet and learning better because they were from 2 different studies. It's okay? Yeah. And also, the negative side also mentioned something about cleaning toilet and crime rate. But that point was a little bit puzzling because could you really connect crime rate with the habit or the training of cleaning toilet? That part was not that powerfully established to convince the audience. Okay, and finally, I guess for the next round, what you could pay attention to would be the cross-examining skills. We will use one example from the affirmative side. The affirmative side, one question chain was: do you agree that a pleasant environment is important? Do you think that a cleaner environment could create a more pleasant experience? So do you agree that higher professional janitors could provide us with a clean environment and a pleasant environment for students? So I guess next time, before you go to the final question of yours, you could try to give us 2 or 3 more questions so that you can deduct the answers to your final argument. Yeah, so these are my comments for the evidence part and the reasoning part. So hope you can try to make some progress in the next round. Thank you.
So I'll give a very brief comment about your Q&A part. For me, the best performer in the Q&A session would be the A2. I have several good questions. For example, what is useful for you, and what because everyone has different standards of cleanliness. And what's the connection between cleaning the toilet and also using the toilet well? So they point out that some connection, and if there is a relationship between using the restroom well and also the cleaning restroom. And so there are some parts where the other teams you did not fully utilize the QMS time well, and somehow you have some misunderstanding. For example, every day you seem to repeat the question, you did not use the time well. So perhaps in a later round, very soon. So be sure to use your time well. And so if your opponent cannot hear your question clearly, remember to rephrase it clearly enough for your teammates or your opponents.
Okay. Just very quickly, back to what Ella was talking about earlier. Make sure that the evidence that you presented in the debate round is really connected back to restroom cleaning. When you're talking about psychological obstacles, when you're talking about learning, always go back to restroom cleaning. It's not just cleaning itself, because this cleaning, sweeping the floor, cleaning the window, can all be types of cleaning. So always make the connection very clear in your argument. And always see trees and also see forest. For example, when you're talking about this number of students getting hurt from cleaning restroom, but that's one incident, and students are cleaning restroom every day for the majority of high schools in Taiwan. And out of the past how many years, you have that only one incident to report? Then what about, I believe, students also get hurt, possibly from cleaning the windows, so yeah. It is some evidence, but how significant that piece of evidence is in terms of helping you prove your point. Okay, so make sure that it's really very well connected. The Instagram study, I just want to point out that when we say evidence is important, we are also saying that the evidence itself has to be published. In other words, that piece of evidence has to be accessible to all parties. So it's not only, I'm not sure who did the study, like what Ellen just asked. If it's like, okay, we want to get some evidence, and let's just have an online study. We just send out the questionnaires through Instagram, through Facebook, and then we gather the data, and then we analyze it, and hey, boom, we got the evidence. But that's your study, and then you never publish it. No one can actually get the access to your study. Then it's not a piece of admissible evidence. So during the next round, if you hear some, like very, very ideal numbers from some study, make sure that you ask for the source. Make sure that it's really a piece of study that is, open and everyone, can have the access to it. So it's not simply just a study that is done by your opponents. So some questions definitely can clarify that. One more thing. In the rebuttal speech, there shouldn't be any new piece of argument or any new argument brought up. I remember in the rebuttal speech there is one thing that I didn't hear in the earlier speech, and that is the restrooms are being used by people outside the school. There are people from the community who also come on weekend and use the restroom. I don't remember I hear that, so make sure that everything you mentioned in the rebuttal speech are based on the earlier arguments. Okay, so we have to get ready for the next round.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please move to another wrestler for the next round.